Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the transport system in vascular plants. Okay, and today's class will be focused on point 1 and point 2. All right, next class will be on point 3. Okay, the transport system in vascular plants, okay, it occurs by 3 ways. Okay, uptake of water and mineral ions or solutes from the soil by root hairs, movement of water across the cortex of the root to the xylem, and from translocation. Okay, so these three, they work together to form the transport system in vascular plants. Okay, we go to the first one, uptake of water and mineral ions from the soil by root hairs. Now, root hairs, I believe all of you know, okay, how they look like. Okay, they are fine hairs that increase the surface area to the volume ratio of the roots, and this allows more water molecules as well as mineral ions can be uptake. Root hairs have very thin primary cell wall that is very porous to water, so this allows water to diffuse into the root by osmosis. Okay, and root hairs plasma membrane have transport protein, okay, to take ions selectively by active and passive transport. Okay, so that's about it, the first mean. Now we continue with the movement of water across the cortex of the root. Okay, so basically you must be able to describe, okay, the apoplast, symplast, and vacuolar pathway or root. Okay, and this vacuolar pathway, also known as transmembrane pathway. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the first one. Okay, as you can see from here, these are the root hair cells. Okay, how they are being interconnected between each other. Okay. Now, apoplast pathway is a pathway. Okay, you can see here is apoplast pathway where moss, okay, water and mineral ions diffuse along the porous adjacent cell wall, okay, from one cell to another. So they move between this porous adjacent cell wall. Now, the water molecule moves between cell wall to cell wall via the intercellular space. You can see they are intercellular space here. Okay, assisted by cohesive forces between water molecules. Okay, so that's apoplast root or apoplast pathway. Now, symplast pathway, okay, or symplast root or symplastic pathway or symplastic root, they come in many names. Okay, so symplast pathway is a pathway where water and mineral ions, okay, diffuse into the protoplast. You can see the protoplast here of the cell without going into the sap vacuole, and then move into the protoplast of the next cell via plasmodesmata. So if you recall, you have learned this in the term 1. This is the plasmodesmata. Okay. This allows the direct flow of some mineral ions from one cell to the adjacent cell via plasmodesmata and assisted by the cytoplasmic strands. Cytoplasmic strands you will learn in detail in the next class, right? Now, cytoplasm between cells are continuum. Okay, you can see here the cytoplasm here with this cell here, they are continuum and connected by this plasmodesmata. So water and mineral ions move between cells via plasmodesmata without crossing the plasma membrane. Okay. Now, transmembrane or vacuolar pathway, as you can see here, down here, okay, it's the pathway where water and mineral ions diffuse through tonoplast. Okay, through the tonoplast into the vacuole and out into the vacuole of the next cell. Okay, the water moves by osmosis, and there is very or little flow of water because of the resistance by the tonoplast. Okay, now this water and mineral ions, it will continue to diffuse along the cells, in the cortex until it reaches the endodermis. You can see here, this is the endodermis. And this endodermis has Casparian strip. And this Casparian strip, apparently it is suberized, or in other words is greasy. That regulates the intake of water and ions into the xylem. You can see here, this is the xylem. And the intake of water and mineral ions or solute into the xylem is being regulated by the Casparian strip. You can see here, this Casparian strip. Now, how does this Casparian strip regulates the intake of water and mineral ions into the xylems? By stop apoplast and vacuolar pathway, and only allow symplast pathway. So apparently, any water, and mineral ions that follows the apoplast and vacuolar pathway will be forced to change their pathway into symplast pathway. So that eventually they this water and mineral ions reach the xylem. Now a closer look of the Casparian strip. This is the endodermis, this region here, and as what I've mentioned earlier, endodermis has Casparian strip. So these Casparian strips, they are waterproof band, because they are suberized, which run around the cell wall of endodermal cells in plant roots. The purpose is to force water which has been following the apoplastic pathway into the living protoplast of the endodermal cell, which is symplast pathway. So that's about it. Apoplast, symplast, and transmembrane or vacuolar pathway. Now let's try some questions here. So as usual, I give you 1 minute to figure out the answer. Alright, done. So I hope you have if you have not done, so please pause the video, right, and come back after you have already figured out the answer. So the cell walls of endodermal cell found in plant roots are impregnated with structure P. It's shown in the diagram below. So you saw this structure P already. What is the advantage of the structure P? What do you think? What is this structure P? It is the Casparian strip, or being suberized or greasy. So A, I don't think so. Do you think so? The answer is A. What about B? What about C? What about D? So obviously the answer would be B. Right, able to control the movement of water and mineral ions into the xylem. Right. What about this question? 1 minute. Done. Right, which statement is true about the Casparian strip in plant roots? What do you think? Does it increases the surface area for absorption of minerals? It is situated at the walls between endodermal and cortex cells. It provides energy for active transport of mineral ions into the stele from the cortex. It ensures that water and dissolved substances pass through cells before entering the stele. So the answer is D, yes. I'm sure you have, although I didn't mention about stele, I'm sure you saw the diagram earlier, about stele, right? So this came out in 2015 repeat paper. So please pause this video and do these exercises on your own first. Okay, done. Right, let's discuss the answer. Okay, now the movement of water and dissolved minerals from one cell to another in plant roots are represented by R, S, and T pathways, shown in the diagram below. Okay, again, class, I like during our class, face-to-face class, right? I always remind you to always pay attention on any diagrams, okay, or picture given in the 16 and 17 question. Okay, because this diagram plays big role on giving out the hints for the questions. Okay, what is R, S, and T pathway? Okay, so R pathway is the apoplast pathway, S pathway is the symplast pathway, and T pathway is the vacuolar pathway. Okay, class, when it comes to spelling, make sure you spell it out correctly. Okay, in in section B, any misspell, okay, will lend you, okay, not lend you, how do I say, will not allow you to get marks. Okay, although it sounds similar, okay, like apoplast. Let's say you have written here double P, apoplast. Okay, it still sounds similar, but the spelling is wrong, so you don't get mark for that, right? Salah terus. Okay, so S pathway is the symplast pathway, T pathway is the vacuolar pathway. Describe the S pathway. Okay, describe the symplast pathway. I already mentioned this, right? So you can follow in the notes earlier, okay, or you can refer here, which is done by the retailer's textbook. They already provided the answers. Okay, so water diffuses by osmosis through the cell wall and partially permeable membrane into the cytoplasm. Water diffuses by osmosis from the cytoplasm of one cell to the cytoplasm of the adjacent cell through plasmodesmata. Then C, identify one process that enables the movement of dissolved minerals in R, S, and T. Okay, that is the facilitated diffusion. Then status significance, okay, significance here means kepentingan. Okay, status significance of Casper strip in endodermis to prevent the movements of water and ions through the R pathway, which is the apoplast pathway. So the Casper strip is a waterproof suberin band on the endodermal cell wall that prevents the apoplast pathway of the water movement. Water and minerals then pass through the cell surface membrane of the endodermal cells into the cytoplasm, thus regulating the water and mineral movement into the stele. Okay, so you can follow either the answer from here or the ones in the notes module. Okay, this came out in 2018. Okay, describe the movement of water in root tissues through apoplast, symplast, and vacuolar pathways. So 6 marks here. So the answers, okay, that's what I found in the Campbell textbook as well as the Solomon textbook. Okay, so I came out with these answers. So apoplast pathway is pathway where water moves through spaces within the cell wall or between the microfibrils. So the water travels with little resistance and interrupted by the Casparian strip at endodermis. So this is about describing on the apoplast pathway. Now, symplast pathway is a pathway where water diffuses through the cytoplasm of cell into another cell, and the water travels via plasmodesmata with considerable resistance. Okay, so this is what we can describe about the symplast or symplastic pathway. Okay, and then vacuolar pathway is a pathway where water diffuses through the vacuole of cell into another cell. The water also moves across the plasma membrane and tonoplast. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 marks. Okay. So that's about it for today's class. Okay, it's short and packed. So we see you tomorrow. All right, in the next lesson. Okay, which will be a little bit detailed. So make sure you go through the module and get ready for tomorrow's class. Okay, bye.